Welcome to the Reform Times for September 11th, 2004 with me, Ray Cherry, and co-host Don Bly. She's not here today. She's taking a day off. And in her stead, we have Dennis Carriger.
Thank you, Ray.
And he's the newly elected chair of the Jackson County Reform Party. Well, Dennis, I just got back from West Plains, Missouri. I went down there to check on the farm, and everything is nice. It's cool, but it's awful dry down there. Have you ever been to West Plains?
I think I've drove there once going somewhere else. I think I've drove through there. That's about it. I never stopped.
Well, it has a great big civic center, and it's on the move. We got a lot of Californians moving in down there.
Really? And
the place is booming.
I'm amazed.
If anybody goes down the West Plains, be sure to check in with Gentry's RV. It's out on 160 Highway, and RVs have come a long way since we were kids. So Jerry and Virginia Gentry will fix you up if you need an RV down there. That's on 160 Highway. Phone number is, just happen to have it here, is area code 417-256-0676. They've got all kinds of RVs. And I saw an interesting thing down there. I'm a historical kind of guy, and I saw at the flea market, believe it or not, a Springfield wagon. Now, who out there knows what a Springfield wagon is? Dennis is a farm boy from Oklahoma.
Yeah, basically, that's where I grew up.
Well, Grandpa purchased the old homestead with a Springfield wagon, a team of horses, and a harness back in 1992. He preempted a lady that couldn't fulfill her year requirements, and so he got it in 1893. But I couldn't believe it. I was down there on the corner by the flea market down by the tracks in West Plains, and they have a genuine Springfield wagon. It should be in a museum, but if anybody goes down there, check that out. They only want $4,500 for it. But it's an original Springfield wagon, made in Springfield, Missouri. That's the reason why it's called Springfield wagon. A true survivor of the pioneer days in the Ozarks. Congratulations to Uncle Floyd, who's also James Newberry down there. He's on his first computer. Remember when we were on our first computer?
Yes, I do.
Years ago, I told him to use it as a training experiment because not everything works, and you have to learn step by step just how to use a computer. He's downloaded the SurferNet so he can listen to this program from West Plains. KCXL has a web page, of course, and on it there's a SurferNet icon. You click that, go to SurferNet, and on their web page over the left hand side you click that, and then it asks your age, your gender, and your email. And it takes a few minutes, but you choose the KCXL broadcast station on that big list they got on SurferNet, and you're hooked up. All you have to do is turn that computer on, shrink that screen down, and there's an automatic SurferNet icon on there that you can click to listen anywhere in the world. And anywhere in the world, you can do it. In England, this show comes on, I figured it out at 1500 GMT. That's 3 o'clock in England. So if you know anybody that would like to listen to pure unadulterated opinion over here in America, in the heart of America, it comes on at 1500 GMT in England. Let's go to what Dennis did. Dennis has just come back from Dallas, Texas, to the Reform Party convention, and at that convention you met an interesting fellow, Ralph Nader.
Yes, I went down there and I participated in the annual yearly Reform Party National Convention. And it's just like the Democratic and Republican conventions. You add stuff to the platform, you vote on rules, and especially in election year, you nominate a presidential candidate. Well, what the Reform Party did this year is the states that we have ballot access, more or less, Ralph consented to be the nominee of the Reform Party, and those states that we had ballot access on, like Florida and Michigan, and I think about 8 other states, some of them very important large states that he was unable to get on. By becoming our nominee, he actually assumed our ballot line, and he'll be on the Reform Party ballot line, I think, in Michigan, Kansas, Florida. I'm not exactly sure which states they are, but I think Mississippi, and I'm not sure what the others are. But I actually met him in person, and believe it or not, he's not a little guy.
He's certainly a little guy, isn't he?
No.
About 5'4"?
No, he's about 6'4", 5".
He's a big dude then.
Yes, he is. I was actually kind of surprised. And he seemed like a really genuine person. I mean, I met him and shook hands with him, and I told him who I was. And he gave a speech, which I thought was a rather decent speech at the convention. It's, the things that the liberals and conservatives have in common, all things that all Americans have in common and what we should do about them. He talked about globalization. He talked about the effect of Walmart on how it was wrecking small communities, and how most of the goods that they had made were from China and other foreign entities, and how they were actually he talked against the Patriot Act and how we might go about trying to change it, and he quite a laundry list of things that most of us, whether we're liberal or conservative, have it affects all of us, our jobs, outsourcing of jobs. He talked about all those things, and I thought it was a rather decent speech.
Now, how many was the media there, and how many were there? You always have C-SPAN, don't you?
Yes, we had C-SPAN, and I think there was ABC and different news outlets. I did see the speech finally on C-SPAN. It took them about a week, but it was on C-SPAN late at night. The other media outlets, I didn't really see anything mentioned on there, but I know that they were there recording it.
Yeah, there was some interest by some young people down there. They were from a college or
Yes,
something?
they're from the local college in Texas. They showed up, and I think they actually liked what they heard. It amazed me. They listened to all our speeches, and they participated by voting. Some of them were even wanted to be seated as delegates. We sold them Reform Party T-shirts and
a bumper sticker or
yeah,
two.
yes, the impeach Bush bumper stickers were really a sought-after item down for the college kids.
Now, a lot of people think that these conventions are closed, but I think in the ones that the one I went to in Nashville, you have a special section for observers. So if you have a school or a college or youngsters want to see it firsthand, they have a special gallery to observe this.
Yes, they're open to the public, and you can you may not be able to vote like on the platform or the issues or the rules or anything like that, but you more than likely you might be even able to make a speech or participate in some way if you ask him, and because it is open to the general public. And I had a pretty decent time. At those places you usually stay up real late at night, and you don't get a lot of sleep, and there's endless motions, and
it's a working environment, and a lot of people have the opinion that, well, I've watched the Democrats and Republicans, and they seem to have a good time. It's not all good time. It's a lot of work, and up to midnight.
Yes, I mean, and this is like a convention like ours, actually raw democracy. I mean, there's people that have certain agendas or things that they'd like to push either through the platform or rules, and you get to see them try to maneuver, to try to get what they want in the agenda, and you don't really see that at the Republican and Democratic conventions anymore, because they already preset everything.
They're not red meat conventions anymore.
Right. They preset everything, so there's actually no surprises. I mean, we can get surprised at our convention. I mean,
well, I looked at the Democrats and Republicans, at their conventions, and it was really quite a show. And I said to myself, oh, I'm so excited. I wonder what the delegates are going to do. Usually delegates choose a nominee, right?
Right.
But I guess things have just fallen out of fashion. They already know who they're going to go with long before the conventions. And I also understand that that you brought the famous Attack Eagle T-shirts with you.
Yes.
Did you bring all of them with you?
No, I think I'm trying to remember how many I brought. About 20 to 25, and I managed to get rid of all of them. We had an auction the last day, for more or less, if you can call it an auction. It went for donations, to pay some of the bill for our convention billing. And that's where we had the famous T-shirts. And like I said, a lot of college kids bought them, and they bought our infamous bumper stickers. And they had other T-shirts and items that people had designed. They had cartoons, like of the Reform Party, like showed Ross Perot's big ears and all this stuff there.